Maximize your message and get found online. Are you visible on the online world? And my question to you is, are you maximizing your reach online? Welcome everybody to another session together with Simon Leung, the Google or Internet Insider, and then JJ Fernandez. And you see, yes, our little mascot over there, Groovezilla, who's joining us in this session. Okay, so today we'll be sharing and discussing how can we really maximize our reach in the online world today. And then if you notice, right now we're actually streaming across multiple platforms. We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, and I believe on Twitter as well, right? So don't be surprised if you see us popping up on your newsfeed all over. We call it omni-channel marketing, right? And yes, and of course, who else would be better to share on maximizing your reach than Simon Leung, who has been for the past over 2 decades sharing the insider secrets to dominating YouTube, Google search rankings, and SEO search rankings, right? Yeah. So Simon, when in our world today, what's the best way to start? Someone who's just starting new, they don't know what to do when it comes to social media and sharing their message. How can they start and amplify their message out there?
Thank you very much, Chinyu, for that wonderful question. You see, Chinyu pre-framed the entire interview with, the Google Insider or dominating search engines or even social media. But let's take a step back, shall we? Let's take a step back even before the days of the internet, prehistoric days, probably in today's time. If you think about how the multi-billion dollar companies of the world, the Fortune 500 companies of the world, how they got big, how they grew their stocks, grew their products, grew their brands over the years, it's one thing. It's through multi-channels. Think big companies, successful companies, food chains like McDonald's or Burger King or Pizza Hut. If you think about how they were successful, do you think they got successful by having one tiny shop somewhere in the middle of nowhere? Or do you think it's as a result of them expanding over the years in different cities, in different towns, multiple franchises within the same towns, and then across the world in multiple countries? Think products like Nike or Coca-Cola. Did they have one little shop somewhere in the middle of nowhere, or even in a big place like, I don't know, San Francisco or New York or Hong Kong or Singapore or in Kuala Lumpur, somewhere around the world, one shop, and they expect it to grow? The fact of the matter is that companies, brands, products, services, they grow as a result of being able to get found. Locally, if they were able to get found, that's brand recognition. That's brand acknowledgement. That's when people are adapted and introduced to your product and service. Now, the good news is that today's world, we're no longer in the prehistoric days. We no longer have to open physical shops in different cities around the world and in multiple shops all around town. Many people still do that if they're mom and pop shops or physical business locations or whatnot. But the thing is, when you are an internet entrepreneur, you have a product or a service that can be promoted online. As what Chinyu mentioned, there are so many platforms that we can now use. A great example, of course, is as Chinyu was saying, right now, are we expecting to get a global audience by simply streaming on, let's say, YouTube, or just on Facebook, or just on Twitter, or just on LinkedIn, or just on Twitch? The beauty of technology these days is that we are able to multi-stream. We're able to be in multiple places all at once. So we don't have to physically open up all these different shops and manually run them, we can be in one place at one time, and then we're expanded all around the world. Now, as Chingy also mentioned, I personally specialize in search engines. I, especially because of my history at Google, understand that out of all the different search engines out there, Google is absolutely the strictest. It's the most difficult to rank. It is definitely one that most people will strive to rank for. The beautiful thing about search engines is that once you're able to capitalize and understand the secrets of Google, the number one search engine in the world, the 1,000-pound gorilla of the internet. Once you're able to get on Google, you're also going to be able to get on YouTube, the second biggest search engine in the world, by the way. You're also going to get on Yahoo. You'll also get on Bing. You'll also get on Excite and Lycos and all the old school Ask Jeeves search engines of the world, because that's how the search engines work. Now, if this is all new to you, and this is all the search engine stuff and being in multiple platforms, let's take another example that might be a little bit easier for us to digest. In the early days of the internet, let's think e-commerce for a moment. If you have a product, and I am always an avid shopper online, I buy stuff, and this one just came, by the way. And so with that, if you understand the online shopping world or online stores world, yes, it's great if you're able to create your own e-commerce store. But if you are a multi e-commerce marketer and you know and value the different marketplaces out there, just like how you know you got to be on Google and Yahoo and YouTube and beyond, just like how you know you need to be in different places all around the world of your physical product, you also need to know that if you are to sell different products and you have the same product, does it make sense for you to just simply have your own online store? Or does it make sense for you to also list that product on a shop, an online retail shop like Amazon.com? It makes sense for you to do that, right? Now, would you say that that's where you should stop? Or should you also, in addition to listing on Amazon, also list it on eBay, also list it on Etsy, also list it in Lazada if you're in this part of the world, also list it on Shopee, in Leung, Q10, all the different shops out there that are marketplaces for you to sell products and services? This is multi-streaming. This is multi-collaborating with different marketplaces around the world and maximizing your message, maximizing your business, and making sure that ultimately, at the end of the night, you get found online, whether it's somebody who is an avid user of Amazon or an avid user of YouTube or an avid user of Etsy or an avid user of anything else, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you just know that there is a market out there, an audience out there who will be able to find you. So at the end of the night, the message here, the moral of the story, get on as many platforms as you can, expand yourself to as many different platforms as possible, go out there, get that exposure, and just make sure that wherever people are, whatever they're doing, whatever their platforms of choice, they can still find you.
Yep. And we so need to be on multiple platforms, because the truth is that our audience, our potential prospects, our clients, they're all over the place, right? Of course, maybe majority of them are on the TikTok for some circumstances, right? Or maybe for us, it's on Facebook. The question is, where are you right now? Are you in front of your audience, right? And this is exactly what we'll be sharing in our upcoming event together with Groove Asia and iSummit. We call it the Seven Mountains event. We'll be sharing with you how you can maximize your message and get found online and beyond. beyond. right? So, just head on over to summitasia.com/7mountains. The link is at the bottom left of the screen. Grab your tickets, invite your friends, family, your fellow colleagues. We're going to have an amazing session and to really find your voice and to be able to amplify your message in our modern world today. So moving on, JJ, being in radio for 17 years, you've seen all the trends come and go when it comes to getting your message out there. Of course, for you primarily, it has been through the airwaves in the audio waves, right? So through your experience, as technology keeps changing, how do you adapt to the times for your message?
Well, thank you so much for the question, Chinyu. Here's the thing: when it comes to technology evolving, everything that one will never change. It will always evolve. So you have to be aware of what's new, what's coming up, what's trending, what's changing. Like if you think back 20 years ago or 10 years ago, Facebook was for the young ones. Then Instagram took over. Then TikTok. Now, if you say you're on Facebook, you're old. You know what I mean? So certain people say that. I'm not saying everyone says that, but you have to realize each of us have our own preferences to our platform that we consume. When it comes to messages, you have to understand what type of people are on which platform and get your message. The same message, but you style your message in a different way when it comes to just messages here. Like your advertising or whatever you're doing out there. Knowing your audience and where you're going to broadcast your message is very important. And it's key to getting your message to the people, relevant people that you want to hit. Getting the message to the audience you want to hit. So identifying the audience that you want and going out to those places where they populate. Like if you want to go fishing, you don't go to a shallow pond trying to catch a huge fish. They're not there. So figure out, understand the market as well. We at during the seven mountains, you'll understand all that. We'll share our insights. We'll teach you how to craft your messages, how to get it out there, so that you can be everywhere at once, speaking to everybody, but in different ways that connect with them better.
Yep. And that's exactly what we'll be sharing with you in the Seven Mountains. You can claim your sponsored tickets over here together with Roof Asia at www.summitasia.com/7mountains. If you're joining us, type in "I'm in" into the chat, right? And then if you want to catch those big fishes, type in "big fish" into the chat, because that's exactly how what we'll be sharing with you throughout the event. And not only that, you'll be able to identify what is your true voice. What are you meant to do during your short time here on Earth. So the event is coming up very soon. Share it out wide, and we look forward to seeing you at the Seven Mountains event very, very soon. That's it. Stay connected, and we shall see you next time.